Okay, people, welcome back. What I've done, opened Microsoft Access. So we're just quickly going to do question 7, 8, and 9, which is basically a database. Now, if I can just give you some background on databases. Databases are used everywhere. It's a place where we store information. For example, have you ever thought what happens when you take your ATM, your card, your bank card, and you go to an ATM? The moment you put in your card, the ATM reads your card number and then connects to the bank, which has a database with all the information on. From there, it asks you for a PIN. The moment you type in your PIN, it connects again and verifies that you've typed in the correct PIN. So basically, databases store information on a large scale. Okay, so we're just creating a basic one here. So I'm just going to click on a blank desktop database. I'm going to get this screen. So just make sure that you type in the database name here. So the database name for this question, it says create a database using the file name wrestling. So I'm just going to type in here wrestling. I'll also recommend that you make sure that you type it in the correct path. Then you're going to go and click on create. Okay, you're going to get this screen. Now, at the moment, there's nothing. So we need to take the mouse and we need to click on the word view, and it's going to give us two options. Basically, design view is question 7 and your datasheet view is question 8. As you'll see, you can move between the two views at any time. So I'm going to click on the word design view, and then it's going to ask me to save the table. Now, in this question, it doesn't give you an instruction to save the table. Just to give you information about the table, let's say the college has a database called South Cape College. Inside that database, we can have multiple tables. We can have a student table with student information. We can have a staff table with staff information, campus table with campus information. So you can have multiple tables, but for our activity, we just need to have one table. And if they do not specify a name, then you just type in your name, your surname, or your ID number. So I'm just going to type in your name, surname. Just keep in mind we're referring to your name and your surname. Then we click on OK, and then we have to put in our fields. Now, before I start, can you see that there we have a little key? That key refers to a primary key. So I'll always recommend that you first remove the primary key. Before in 5, we don't use primary keys. Your ID is a primary key. It's something that makes your information unique. Like your ID number is unique. No one in the country can have the same ID number as you. And then I'm going to start with my first field name, which is name. I'm going to click on the data types. Okay. If you get this, it's just a warning. Don't worry about this. Just click on OK. Because we've used the word name, it just tells me that name is a reserved word. I'm just going to go click on OK here. The data type, it says to a maximum of 20 characters. So I'm just going to go and change this to short text. The moment you see characters, you need to know it's short text. And then it wants 20 characters. So my field size, I'll just change to 20. Then the next one there becomes surname. And then the data type again is character, so it's short text. And then this one has 25. Then the next one there is result. So I'm going to type in result. And then I'm going to go, it says a maximum of 10 characters. Again, it's short text. And the field size is 10. And then the last one there is amount. So I'm going to go type in amount. And then I'm going to select currency. Okay. That's all I need to change there. And then I have received, so I'm going to type in received, and then the data type is yes or no. So I'm just going to go select yes or no. And then the last one again is your examination number, which is your ID number. And then again, it's short text. and the field size is 13. Okay. Once I'm done, I need to print this. Okay. So to print this, you go to Database Tools, you go to Database Documenter, you click on Options. Now you need to make sure that your information, the first, all these ticks are removed. The second one is that one, and then the last one is here. So two ways to remember this is to say 0 to 1, the Cape Town area code. Okay, or you can say nothing, middle, nothing. Okay, that's just two ways how you can remember which options to select here. Once you are done, you click on OK. Then you tick to make sure you want to print this table, right? That's why you tick it, you select it basically. Then you go to OK. It's going to ask you to close the table. You say yes. It's going to ask you to save it. You say yes. Then you're going to get this screen. Now basically, when we mark this question is worth 7 marks. So we look at the database name, 1 mark. Then we look at your name, the field names, plus the data types. Is it correct? Another mark, another mark. Okay, so it's mark 1, mark 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. That's basically what we look at with 7 marks. Now to print this, I'll recommend that you always first go to size. Can you see that size is at the moment set to letter? Now the campus printers can only print A4. They cannot print letter. So before you print, make sure you change this to A4. Then you click on print and you print it. Very, very important. Once you are done, you go to close and then you are here. So now we're going to move over to the next question, question 8. Now question 8 has basically two parts. 8.1 says create the following records. Now, once I need to go and click on my table name. Okay, if I double click on the table name, this appears. So here I need to go and I need to type in my first record, which is Zanri. The surname there is Pilcher. The result is gold. The amount is 1,500. Received, so I can just tick it. Remember here, a tick means yes. If it's not ticked, it's a no. And then here I need to go type in as they specified, table 1. The next one here is Ashley. That is Van Breda is the surname. Silver is the result, 1,000. And then received no. Now people, I'm just using tab to jump to the next cell. It just makes it a bit quicker if you want to move in your cells. And also note, I'm not typing in the R, I'm also not typing in any decimals. Okay, so once I'm done and typed everything, you can always double check to make sure that you've typed it incorrect. Now, I just want to refer you to this one here. If you print it as is, you're going to lose a mark for column width. So you need to make sure that all your text is visible like it is here. And then you can go to File, Print, Print Preview, and then they specify here 8.2, save the document and print the records in landscape. So I need to go click on landscape, go to size, make sure it's on A4, click on print and then you print it. Then I'm going to go back, so I'm going to click on close print preview. Now I'm going to do 8.3. 8.3 says insert a column qualified for the Olympics as a yes or a no field? Now, I'm going to go to home. Remember what I said, when you click on view, there you've got datasheet view and design view. So I need to go back to my design view, and then at the end here, I'm going to add the field name qualified for Olympics. And then the data type is yes or no. Okay. Now I need to add my records. So I'm going to go back to my datasheet view. Okay. Yes, I want to save the table. And then can you see that there's another field here, qualified for the Olympics. So now I need to say Shiloh qualifies for the Olympics, Petrus qualifies for the Olympics, and also Zanri qualifies for the Olympics. Okay, so I just tick the ones that they want as specified. Now 8.4 says, sort the contents of the database in descending order according to the amount. So to sort something here, you go and you right click on your field name. The field name here is amount. So I'm going to right click on amount, and I'm going to sort it in descending order, which is largest to smallest. Okay. So that's the way we do it here. And then we say save the document and print the record in landscape. Now database saves automatically. So we can just go to file, we can go to print, print preview, and make sure that everything is visible and readable. Okay. It's already landscape, so I can just go to print and I print this. So people, this is basically question 7 and 8. I'm quickly going to move to the next question, the last question, question 9, which is a report. Now, a report is basically just a nice view of to show the information. But let's quickly look at the report. Question 9.1 says, create a report which includes the following column headings. So it will always tell you which headings to include: name, surname, result, and amount. It also tells you, 9.2, display only the records of the amounts smaller than 1,500. Now, that part we refer to a query. So I'm going to show you the query first. I need to do the query first, and then I basically generate my report based on the query. Now, people, if you don't understand the query, you can skip the query and still create a report, because the query counts 1 or 2 marks. And this is also the part that students sometimes struggle with. Okay, so I'm going to carry on. 9.3 says key in the word total at the end of the report below the name column. And then 9.4, determine the total of the amount and display the answer below the amount column as currency with 2 decimals. Then they want me 9.5 to insert the text wrestling on the left and your examination number or ID number on the right, and then save and print. So as you can see, they don't want a lot. And the tricky part here is to first identify the query and then do the query. So like I said, if they want certain information, that's basically your query. So to do this, I'm going to go to close. I'm going to go to create. Now when you go to create, you can see here that there's queries, and then here's your reports. So we first need to go and then create a query. And I just want to remind or tell you again, if you don't understand the query, just go and create a report. Okay. So for now, I'm going to go to Query Wizard. I'm going to say yes. I want to save this. It's going to ask me what type of query. We're always going to select simple query, an easy query basically. So I'm going to click on OK. And then it asks me which fields do I want. I want name. So I'm going to click on this little button here. I want surname. I want result. And I want amount. Okay. So I select which information to appear. Then I go to next. I go to next. And I'm going to give this a name. So we can say here, we can give it any name. I'm just going to call it query. And then I'm gonna select, I'm gonna make sure you select modify, because we still need to tell the query which information to display. Okay, and then I'm gonna go to finish. You're gonna get this screen. Now people, I just wanna show you, if you go to view, you again have your design view. That's basically to create the query, and then you have your datasheet view. The datasheet view, if you click on that, at the moment is going to display all the information. Now what they want, 9.2 says, display only the records of the amounts smaller than 1,500. Now at the moment we have 3 records here that is 1,500. What they are telling us is they do not want to see Zanri, they do not want to see Petrus, and they do not want to see Shiloh. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my design view, and under amount, because they're referring to amounts, right? Under amount, under criteria, I'm going to say there less than 1,500. So basically, I am telling my database to only display the information where the amount is less than 1,500. That is what that refers to. Okay, and then I can test this by clicking on view and going to datasheet view. So can you see now it only displays the people with the amount less than 1,500. And that's basically how you do your query. And again, people, this can change. They can tell you, maybe instead of the amount, only display the result where it's gold. That maybe the people that received gold. Okay, I'm just gonna quickly change this to gold, and then I'm gonna go to datasheet view. So can you see now it only displays the people that received gold. So this is actually, you can give it any information. Okay, but let's just go back and change this to the criteria less than 1,500. There we go. Okay, so once I've done my query, the last step is to just go and create my report. So I'm going to go to create again. I'm now going to go to my report wizard. I'm going to say yes, I want to save my query. It's going to give me this screen. Now, people, just take a look under tables queries. Can you see that you've got a table and you've got your query, right? The table is where the physical information is stored. The query, we selected to display only the people that is a less than 1,500. So we want to create our report based on the query. So we need to make sure we select the query. Again, it's going to give me my field names. It will only display the field names that's created in the query. So I'm just going to click on this little, the double button here. I can either click on the one individually, or I can just click on that one, which moves everything over. And also keep it in the same format, in the same order, right? Name, surname, result, and amount. Then I'm going to go next. The next option will ask me about grouping. They don't specify anything about grouping, so we just go next. They don't specify anything about sorting, so I just go next. This stuff you also leave as is, so I go next. And then the title. The title is basically 9.5. So I'm just going to type in here wrestling for now, right? Because the examination number I'll just add afterwards. And then I want to see what the report looks like. So I'm going to leave it on preview and I'm going to finish. Okay. Then this is basically what's going to appear. As you can see, there's your title and it only displays the names of the people that amount is less than 1,500. So basically, if I can go back to my question paper, I've done 9.1. I've created my report. I've done 9.2. It only displays the records of the amounts smaller than 1,500. Okay. Now 9.3 and 9.4, they go together. We need to determine the total amount. So basically we want to add these values together. That's what they're referring to. So 9.3, 9.4 goes together. So I'm gonna click on close print preview because at the moment I'm in print preview mode. I'm gonna close print preview. It's gonna take me to this view, which is my design view. So if I go to view, you've got 4 views here, right? You've got print preview and layout view as well. So to do 9.3, 9.4, I'm first going to click on layout view. Okay. In layout view, you can add small stuff. You can even move your columns around like this here. You can move this around if you don't like it so close to the border, stuff like that. Okay. So layout view is actually a nice view to work in. Now to do my calculation, people 9.3, 9.4, you always do 9.4 first, and then you do 9.3. 9.3 is just you have to type in the word total here. We don't have space at the moment, so we can't. So that's why 9.4 tells me to determine the total of the amount and display the answer below the amount column here as a currency with 2 decimals. So to do this, you just click on any of the values under the amount column. You click, then you're going to go to the design ribbon, and then you have here the option totals. So here I'm going to go and I'm just going to say the sum, because the sum is to add everything together. So if I select that option, it basically adds everything together, as you can see there. Now they also specify currency with 2 decimals. It's already currency with 2 decimals. If it doesn't give you that, you can always click on it, and then you can go here to property sheet, and you can make sure that your format is currency and that your decimal places. At the moment it's set to auto because this computer is set to 2 decimal places. If it gives you, if you want 0 decimals, then you can always click on auto, go to the drop down and select 0. And as you can see, it changed to 0 decimals. So you can control it here in your property sheet. Okay, now we need to add the words total here. Where do they want total? 9.3, key in the word total at the end of the report below the name column. So they want total here. Okay, now to do this is also straightforward. You cannot just go and type it in here. So I'll rather go to my design view, and can you see that there's a calculation here equals sum amount. So we can now go to design. We can go to my label, which is this option here, and then I just go underneath name, I click, and I'm going to go and type in here the words total. Okay. So if I go back to my layout view, you can see that I've got the words total there, and in line with that, I have my calculation done. So the last step here is 9.5. I already have the words wrestling, so I'm just going to go there, double click. I'm going to add lots of spaces. There's no tab like in, or a tab stop like in Word. So I'm going to go and I'm going to type in my ID number. If it goes like that, just go and take out a couple of the spaces we have. You'll see that as long as it fits in one row or one line. Yeah, I just use the space bar to add the extra spaces. Okay, so once you're happy with this, we need to print this. Okay, so I'm going to go to File, I'm going to go to Print, Print Preview, and make sure about your size again. It should be A4, and then you click on Print, and basically that is the end of this. So people, all the best with your test. Okay.
Ek wil dit gebruik in my klas op. So, people all the best.
Ek verstaan.
Dankie. Ek het nie geluister nie want my kop kan nie meer nie, so ek gaan dit op my eie sit en luister.
Okay, maar waar is dit?
Ek sal dit kry want ek het dit gedownload en kleiner maak dat ek dit by my Google aflaai en dan gaan ek dit op my foon. So ek save dit in my Google Drive en dan download ek dit op my foon dat ek nie van die Wi-Fi gebruik.
Ja, jy kan ook maar maak jy saak.
Nee, dis baie. Kom gou. Wat ek het gedoen live. Hulle sê dit bel baie.
Wat tel baie?
Almal, ek en jy. Ons is 'n main team gangsters. Hey, dankie. Voel jy beter nou?
Ja, nee, dis ek
verstaan nie, ek voel jy beter?
Ja, ek's reg.
Gaan weg.
Mens probeer net die mense help.
Ja, ek weet. Gaan loop.
Kom dis. Kom.
So hier's jou nou.